Every day your mind gives you instructions. Sometimes it says, do the work. Other times it says, maybe tomorrow. The direction of your life depends on which voice you choose to follow. But here's what most motivational content gets wrong. They tell you to choose discipline. They don't tell you how. They inspire you at night. You fail by Tuesday. Then you feel shame, not because you lack discipline, but because you were never given the actual tools to build it. Today, that changes. We're going to explore discipline as a complete system. Not just motivation, but a practical, sustainable framework you can implement starting today. Most people define discipline as willpower. That's incomplete. Discipline is a three-part system. Part 1 is mental clarity, knowing what matters and why. Part 2 is environmental design, structuring your surroundings to make discipline easier. Part 3 is consistent action, small repeated choices that compound over time. Willpower alone fails because willpower is a depleting resource, but systems don't deplete, they sustain. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't wake up and think, should I brush today? No, your environment, your toothbrush on the sink, your routine, your bathroom ritual, and your clarity that dental health matters. These make the decision automatic. That's real discipline. Not fighting yourself every morning. It's removing the fight entirely. Here's the first critical truth. Discipline without purpose creates burnout, not success. You can force yourself to wake up at 5 a.m. for 30 days. But if you don't know why, you'll collapse by day 31. Before you build any discipline system, answer this honestly. What am I building discipline for? Not what should I do, but what do you actually want? Better health, a specific career, financial security, time freedom, a creative project? Be specific. Success is too vague. Earning $100K in the next 18 months is specific. When your brain understands the reason, it produces motivation naturally. You're not fighting yourself. You're moving towards something meaningful. Consider this example. A weak purpose sounds like, I should exercise more. A strong purpose sounds like, I want to have the energy to play with my kids without getting winded. I want to live to 85, active and present. Same action, exercising. Completely different level of commitment. Write this down. Not in your phone, on paper. I am building discipline in specific area because specific outcome matters to me. This will allow me to what becomes possible. Here's an example. I am building discipline in morning routines because consistency matters to me. This will allow me to write my book and feel in control of my day. Keep this visible. Your brain needs to see the connection between daily action and desired outcome. Now let's address something the standard discipline talk completely ignores. Not all resistance is mental weakness. Sometimes it's legitimate information. When you feel resistance, ask this question. Is this mental resistance or legitimate need? There are 3 types of resistance. Type 1 is mental resistance, discomfort avoidance. What it feels like. I don't feel like it. This is uncomfortable. I'd rather rest. The reality, you're experiencing normal friction. This is where discipline applies. The response, do it anyway. The feeling passes in 5 minutes. Type 2 is physical or mental health signal, a legitimate need. What it feels like, complete exhaustion, persistent brain fog, difficulty concentrating, overwhelming anxiety. Everything feels heavy. The reality, your mind and body are signaling real need for recovery. The response, rest, sleep, seek professional help if needed. This isn't laziness, this is critical. Working through discomfort builds discipline. Working through burnout creates collapse. Type 3 is environmental resistance, systemic barriers. What it feels like. You're trying hard, but external factors keep blocking progress. Limited resources, multiple jobs, unstable housing. The reality, individual discipline alone cannot overcome systemic barriers. The response, problem solve the system, not just your mind. Get support. Change the environment where possible. Here's what doesn't get said in most motivational content. A person working 2 jobs to feed their family has less discretionary focus than someone with financial security. That's not a character difference. It's a resource difference. A person with ADHD will experience focus differently than someone without it. That's not weakness, it's neurology. A person experiencing depression genuinely struggles with motivation in ways that discipline alone cannot fix. That requires treatment. The disciplined approach to life is this. First, take responsibility for what you control, your daily choices, your effort, your mindset. Second, acknowledge what you don't control, your circumstances, your health conditions, your starting point. Third, build systems that work with your reality, not against it. Instead of abstract advice, here's a concrete system. The 30-day discipline protocol. You cannot build discipline everywhere at once. Pick one area: health, career or skill development, creative project, financial responsibility. Pick one, master it, then expand. This week, write down your one focus area and your purpose statement. Discipline is 80% environment, 20% willpower. If you want to exercise more, laying out your gym clothes the night before removes decision-making. If you want to write, keeping your laptop open on your desk eliminates the activation barrier. If you want to eat better, removing junk food from your home eliminates temptation. The principle is simple. Make the desired behavior the path of least resistance. Here are specific environmental redesigns. For writing, keep the laptop open, phone in another room, desk clear except for writing. For exercise, pack the gym bag the night before. Make workout clothes visible. Set a calendar event at specific time. For learning a skill, put course materials on desk. Set a 20-minute timer. Put phone on silent. For better sleep, wear blue light glasses 1 hour before bed. Charge phone outside bedroom. Darken curtains. For healthy eating, shop with a list. Prep meals on Sunday. Don't keep unhealthy snacks in the house. Most people fail at discipline because they go too big too fast. Not I'll exercise 1 hour daily, but I'll do 10 minutes of movement daily. Not I'll write a book, but I'll write 500 words daily. The micro-routine formula is this. Time should be 10 to 20 minutes maximum. Trigger should be tied to an existing habit like after coffee, after lunch, or before bed. Action should be one specific behavior. Reward should be something immediate and positive, not food-based if possible. This week, create your micro-routine. Here's an example. Trigger: finish morning coffee. Action: 15 minutes of writing. Reward: read news for 10 minutes guilt-free. Motivation is temporary. Data is permanent. A simple tracking system removes the guesswork. What to track? Pick 2 or 3. First, days completed. Mark X on calendar. Second, time invested. Third, specific metric like words written, miles run, or lessons completed. Where to track: simple calendar on wall if you like visual satisfaction. Spreadsheet if you like data. App if that works for you. The rule is simple. Track after every session. Don't rely on memory. What to measure? Progress, not perfection. Missing 1 day is normal. Missing 7 days is a pattern. After you've built the system, mental resistance will still appear. Here's how to handle it. When your mind says, I don't feel like it, make a deal with yourself. I'll just do 5 minutes. Not I'll exercise for 1 hour, but just 5 minutes. What happens? You almost always continue past 5 minutes once you start. The activation energy is the barrier, not the activity itself. This isn't deceiving yourself. This is recognizing that starting is harder than continuing. Don't say, I'm trying to exercise more. Say, I'm someone who moves daily, or I'm a writer, or I'm disciplined about my sleep. Your brain believes the identity statement. Then it produces behavior to match that identity. This isn't denial. It's how neuroscience works. Identity drives behavior. When an excuse appears, ask, is this real or is this resistance? Real obstacles need adaptation. I'm injured and my doctor said not to exercise. Modify the activity. I'm working 14-hour days this week. Do 5 minutes instead of 30. I'm experiencing a depressive episode. Reach out for support. Reduce expectations. Resistance disguised as obstacles needs action despite discomfort. I'm too tired, but you've had 7 or more hours sleep. You're mentally fatigued, not physically tired. 5 minutes might energize you. I'll do it tomorrow has been said for 2 weeks. This is avoidance, not timing. "I'm not ready yet" has been said for 6 months or more. Readiness comes from starting, not waiting. The distinction. Real obstacles require adaptation. Resistance requires action despite discomfort. Tell one person your specific goal and your tracking method. Share your progress weekly or daily for 30 days. Not for judgment, for visibility. Human brains perform differently when observed. Even just reporting to one person creates follow-through. If accountability isn't available, use public commitment. Post your intention. Makes it real. After 4 to 6 weeks of consistent action within your system, something shifts. The behavior starts becoming automatic. You no longer decide to do it. You just do it. This is where real power emerges. The automation timeline works like this. Weeks 1 to 2 require constant willpower and environmental support. Weeks 3 to 4 feel easier but still require daily commitment. Weeks 5 to 6 become more automatic. Environment supports it. Weeks 7 to 12 feel odd not to do it. Month 4 and beyond integrate into identity. Sustained with less effort. Once a habit is stable, increase slightly or add variation to stay engaged. Not keep doing exactly the same thing forever, but build on the foundation you've created. Progress isn't linear. Some weeks you'll feel stuck. That's normal. Track data, not feelings. Data shows progress even when it doesn't feel like it. Life happens. Illness, travel. When disruption occurs, pause. Don't quit. Restart immediately after, even with reduced version. Don't use disruption as evidence of failure. Your brain needs reinforcement. Don't wait for the end goal. Completed 5 days? That's worth noting. Learn something new? Recognize it. Small acknowledgements fuel sustained effort. Here's what rarely gets mentioned. Discipline without rest is not discipline. It's self-harm. Peak performers understand this. Athletes build rest days into training. Scientists take sabbaticals. High performers schedule do-nothing time. Rest isn't laziness. Rest is maintenance. Your brain, like your muscles, needs recovery to build strength. The recovery cycle works like this. Work cycle, 4 to 6 weeks of consistent focus. Rest cycle, 3 to 5 days of deliberately not pushing what rest looks like. Sleep 8 or more hours. Reduce commitments. Engage in restful activities, not more screens. Reflect on progress. Reset intention for next cycle. The paradox: people who build in rest often accomplish more than people who push constantly. Why? Because you can't sprint for 12 months. But you can sprint, recover, sprint for years. Most people wait for motivation. I'll start when I feel ready. I'll be disciplined when it gets easier. This is backwards. Discipline creates motivation. Motivation doesn't create discipline. You don't feel like exercise. You feel better. Your brain requests more. Motivation emerges. The sequence is: action becomes feeling, becomes motivation, becomes habit, not the other way around. Your mind will always offer resistance. This is hard. This is uncomfortable. This could wait. That's not a signal to stop. That's the design of your brain. Your brain prefers the known to the unknown. Comfort to growth, today to tomorrow. This isn't a character flaw, it's neurology. The disciplined person isn't someone who doesn't experience resistance. It's someone who acts despite it. You have the same 24 hours as everyone. The real issue: you haven't made it a priority or designed the environment properly. Solution: reduce commitment from 30 minutes to 5 minutes. Combine with existing habit. Write while waiting for coffee to brew. Track anyway. Even 5 minutes compounds. Miss 1 day and zero impact. Miss 2 days and still salvageable. Miss 3 or more days and that's a pattern worth examining. When you miss, start again that day, not tomorrow or Monday. 1 to 2 weeks. You'll feel changes in energy, mood, and sleep. 4 to 8 weeks, others might notice. 3 to 6 months, real visible transformation. 1 or more years, identity shift. This is who you are now. Trust data over feelings. Track what you can measure. You're doing it right when it becomes automatic, but before you evolve. Add variation. Increase difficulty. Combine with something enjoyable. Set a new challenge within the framework. Critical truth. Discipline frameworks work differently with mental health conditions. Not at all. With depression, start with half the commitment. Focus on consistency over intensity. Seek professional support. With ADHD, use external accountability, shorter time blocks of 5 to 10 minutes, more frequent small rewards. With anxiety, start very small. Use grounding before the activity. Remove time pressure. Therapy plus discipline system equals powerful combination. Discipline alone won't cure mental illness, but it can support treatment and build momentum. The real power of building discipline isn't winning at work or looking better. It's regaining agency over your life. When you can't follow through on commitments to yourself, you feel powerless. You feel like things happen to you, not because of you. Discipline changes that, not through toxic I can do anything thinking, but through I make commitments, I keep them. My word to myself means something. That shifts everything. Don't wait for Monday, don't wait for next month. Today, write your purpose statement. Why does this matter to you? Pick one area, just one. Design one environmental change, make it easier. Choose your 10-minute micro-routine, specific tied to existing habit. Set up tracking, visual and simple. This week, complete your micro-routine daily. Adjust environment as needed. Track every completion. Next 3 weeks, maintain consistency. Adjust timing and environment if needed. Report to accountability partner or yourself. Assess. Did it work? Adjust. Continue. Expand. Successes doesn't require perfection. It requires clarity, environment, consistency, and adaptation. Not willpower. Systems, not motivation. Discipline, not someday today. You don't need a different life to start. You need a different system. Master the system. Master your habits. Master your life. Your future is being built right now, not by force, by the small, repeated choices you make in the next 30 days. Start today, not because you feel ready, because readiness comes from starting. Build your system. Keep your commitments to yourself. Watch your life change.